Just left Alhambra, went up the best drive on tarmac. I think Eat Your Heart Out Pikes Peak. Climbed up to, I think it's 1,950 meters right now from down Alhambra at about 700, 750. Great drive, crotch rockets, Harley, Ferrari, muscle car, fantastic, but this is where the fun starts. We've got to the top, tar road ends, and from here on in, I start getting that fuzzy feeling. This is where the games begin. We've been driving the best road as far as I'm concerned in Oman, and come across this network of canals basically called the Falaj in Arabic. I'll show you some footage that I taken a little earlier where you can see it coming down the mountain. It obviously feeds the small village over here. You can just imagine that land speed records get broken with this water when it's raining, because it must be incredibly quick when it's coming down here. Right now it's ice cold, and we got some friends. They obviously love the water as well. I keep on harping on about the best off-road track in the world, and we're on it, and you get through to the bottom of one of the valleys. It's up and down and up and down, and you end up with this. Time to stretch the legs, play some football with a little guy, and we'll carry on driving a little bit later. Kick. What a fantastic day we've had today. Left Jebel Shams this morning, down Jebel Shams towards Alhambra, got to the ancient city over there, headed off to Rustak. We're through one of, as far as I'm concerned, the best off-road route there is in the Middle East, if not the world, and ended up over here at Wadi al-Abihad. We were here exactly a year ago. I came through with a friend of mine, David Streakey, and we couldn't pass this area behind me, the gents were actually jumping off the sides of the rocks into the pool over here, and it was deeper than 6 foot. And this was part of the original route that I was mapping from Dubai to Muscat off-road, and this wadi was part of it, and we could not do it. We had to take an alternative route. I'm happy to see that there is enough, well, there is still water, but at least we can get through this stretch over here. And tomorrow is exploring something new because we haven't driven this part of the wadi. However, with the massive amount of rains, it has been washed out quite a lot. We managed to get through here last year to this area without much of an effort. The pebbles were full up so the rocks weren't exposed. Today, however, took low range with a spotter to get through some nasty little spots. 10, 15 meters long, but nasty. If you do not have a lift kit and you do not have strong tires, do not attempt it. If you have got a lift kit and you're happy with your tires and you're not happy with your ability, do not try it. Okay. However, do come into the wadi, get to the first bits of water and spend the afternoon over here, camp near on that side. The water's fresh, it's flowing all the time. It's really a beautiful spot. If you have got the ability, make sure that you've got some time on your hands. It does take time to get through even 15 meters with the spotter in low range and making sure that your vehicle comes out okay on the other side. So do make sure you've got time. We've run out of time today. We left a bit late this morning. It's 5 o'clock right now and we're only getting to camp. We left at 10. I would have liked to leave earlier. But with all the filming and everything that we've been doing all day, it obviously takes longer than the average drive. So well within your reach, Jebel Shams, to spend the evening here at Wadi Al Abyad. I'm battling with that, A-B-Y-A-D. And if not, take it in 2 trips. There are places to camp on the route. I will give you those points, but from the mountains to this, spectacular, absolutely spectacular. So tomorrow, down the wadi, something new, and then we see the beach tomorrow. Once again, following on from our rant this morning about the litter, you know, such a beautiful spot this, and unfortunately, as we were driving down the wadi, as it's more accessible than most times, there's just litter everywhere. I just don't get how people just leave their stuff behind. Unfortunately, it seems that we need to educate people that have a 4x4, and we need to educate people that are able to get into these pristine spots. This water is fresh. Now, looking at these plastic bags, I probably would not drink from it. I love fresh spring water. I love water coming from the mountains. But looking at the trash, taking a closer look at it, swimming, absolutely fine. But what a waste, you know. I wish we had this in the UAE. I wish that we had almost all year round wadis flowing like this. Beautiful open areas, couple of camp spots around, mountainous around it. And we only have the seasonal wet wadis over there. We have to drive a long way to come see this, and unfortunately it's just dirt. Anyway, we'll look past that and I'll show you all the beauty spots and come explore this for yourself. And the rocks, damn it. to go. Any options? We had a fantastic campsite. Last night I was talking about the rocky area that if you trust your vehicle, then you know you can get through there if you've got a lift kit. Unfortunately, we went about a kilometer past our camp spot, and the risk is just too high. I think if I had two vehicles with me, I probably would have taken the chance. One vehicle, family in the car, the risk was just too high. So we had to turn around and basically head back. And I'm glad we did that because we actually got to film the rocky part that I was talking about yesterday. So these stones are so thick. I'm actually in low range second gear with my rear differ on at the moment because we're going against the water. The stream is not running that fast, but with the stream pushing against you, going slightly uphill with these very loose pebbles, the rear differ just comes in very handy. Being a diesel, I don't have that raw grunt of a petrol motor where I can get my revs up and get on the plane. So momentum has to be my friend on this one. But yeah, so unfortunately we couldn't go through the path, so we'll actually be driving the alternative route. But as you can see, there's still lots of water around here. There's lots of pools, so you can come to this flat area and set up a picnic and have some food, swim, and then head back out of the wadi. We're about 1.5 kilometers to 2 kilometers in, and then head back, do the alternative route, and hopefully soon we hit the beach. Okay, so lastly, and what is your most favorite thing about camping then? You know, not necessarily this trip, but in general, what's your camping?
Definitely our camping fires, sitting around it, talking, because I do believe in our everyday life. Life is quite busy. You travel all the time, you're not here. And I just think it gives us quality time. Absolutely amazing quality time to be able to spend together and chat about everything in life.
So, last message. What do you want to say?
Ladies and gentlemen, get out there because it's worth every second dusty road.
So this is it. Dubai to Muscat, the dusty way round. And boy, are some of the parts really, really dusty. That mountain pass between Al Hamra and Rastak, the powder, it's like bull dust basically. It's if you watch Dakar, they call it fish, but it gets in everywhere. But worth it, absolutely worth it. Getting down into Wadi Al Abiyad, going for a swim, washing off all that dust from that trip over there. Fantastic, last night's camp next to the river, listening to the water coming past. Great. Here we are next to the wave. This is a little fisherman's beach. So starting off at Dubai Offshore Sailing Club, ending off on a fisherman's beach in Muscat. The trip is absolutely worth it. It's taken us 5 days to do this, but we do a lot of filming and going backwards and forwards to get all the footage. We've done this trip in 3 nights before. It's very easy to do in that time. A couple of things about the trip. 4x4 is a must. Look, don't even bother doing this without a 4x4. With the wadi being as washed out as it was on this particular trip, I've had to use diff lock a couple of times. It is not a necessity, but my good old trusty is a 4.2 diesel without any turbo, so I need all the assistance I can, especially loaded with 4 people. She's built only for 2 passengers. She's not put together for 4 packs, so she's quite heavily loaded. But standard, any petrol vehicle with a nice strong engine, 4-wheel drive is fine. Low range, definitely. Diff lock, maybe not so much. The trip, worth it. Mind-blowing, breathtaking. I can come up with so many ways to describe this trip, but you have to do it yourself. A lot of people watching this have probably done some parts of the trip, but if you combine it together, starting off in Dubai, going through the city, then heading a little bit of rocky, heading towards Malia, and then towards Alain through the desert, back towards the Hajra mountain range, following the Hajra mountain range all the way through, crossing over at Jebel Shams, then crossing again from Al Hamra. We did, I think it was 840 meters at Al Hamra, at the foot of Jebel Shams, 800 meters up to 2,000 meters, back down to 640 meters at Al Hamra, back to 2,000 meters at the top of the mountain pass, and then down towards Rasta, down to 210 meters when we got to the Wadi Al Abiyad, and now back to sea level. The trip, not only is it this long, but it's this long as well, so breathtaking. Every single day gives you something more, something different. It just feeds the soul. So it's sad to end a trip like this. It's soul destroying that I'm now going to have to get onto the blacktop and drive back the 400 kilometers to Dubai. Boring, straight road, but it's all worth it. Absolutely worth it. Getting out, spending time with your family, making fires, playing board games. Just, there's nothing else in the world that gives you this sense of freedom, sense of unity, teamwork, especially through the tough bits. Today was full-on teamwork. You need spotters, otherwise you're just going to damage your vehicle going through big rocky boulder areas. It just brings everybody together. I think once you've done a trip, I think you'll get to the same feeling when you get over here. I think firstly you jump in the ocean, and then secondly you'll sit back and you'll look back at the trip and you'll say, you know what, when can we do the next trip? Or let's do it in reverse. Let's go from Muscat back to Dubai. So lastly, I think, thinking about the trip, the rubbish along the way, and even if I look at the beach over here, guys, just pick up, when you're done camping, pick up everything, put it in a trash bag, take it with you. There are skips all along the route. I haven't had to carry rubbish for longer than probably an hour maximum before I found a skip and then dump it into a skip. So it's not that difficult. It's not as if there's nothing around. It's not like traveling through Namibia days on end where there are no rubbish bins or skips where you can drop off your rubbish. There is a lot out there, so it's not that difficult. There's no excuse not to pick up after yourself. So this is it. I really and truly hope you enjoyed this trip, and I implore you to take it. So keep watching Expedition Extreme, and if it's dusty, drive it.